Welcome to the Passion to Profit series, where I'll talk you through turning your passion, something you enjoy, something you love doing, some skills that you might have gained from your employment, to something profitable, a sustainable business, but based off of building your brand on social media. So this is the first video of 5. And in today's video, I'm going to be speaking about finding your niche and personal branding. Now, I'm sure you've heard the word niche a lot, especially if you've looked into this in any depth. But the word niche means, what is your USP? What is your unique selling point? What is it that makes you different? Now, back in the day, that would be something quite big. It would be because you were a black woman in doing skincare, because there wasn't anyone else. Or it'd be like me, a woman talking about a PhD online. Now, these are really big general USPs, right? But nowadays, your USP it's a bit more difficult for that USP to be so general, because there are a lot of people doing these things online. So your USP needs to be a little bit more targeted, right? So it could be maybe your background as to your career, where you've moved from, where you're going to. It might be you talking about a really specific corporate role that no one really knows about. It's like, if you know, you know. So something that shows and defines you. It's really important to have a niche. It's really important that people, when they think about you and you're starting to build your personal brand, that they think, right, Amina, she's about this thing, right? And that's something that I think I had to learn along the way. And on Instagram, I had only 25,000 followers just 6 months ago, and I now have 100K. So what made that change? The number one thing that made that change is by me saying, I need to niche down. I need to stop being the jack of all trades. I enjoy a lot of things, but I can't put all of that online because I'm confusing my audience, right? So it's really important to choose a niche. And so I said to myself, right, I'm going to focus on academia, education, AI, productivity, that kind of realm. And from time to time, I'll sprinkle some motherhood, some fashion here or there, some travel, but for the most part, I will be about academia and education, and that is when I saw my page blow. So the first thing you want to do is decide on what your niche will be. Now, I hear you ask, I don't know my niche, but I don't know what to talk about. Okay, step 1. What do you enjoy? What are some things that you could happily talk to your friends about, that your friends come to you to ask you about in your friendship group? What are you to them? Are you the planner? Are you the person they message when they want to choose an outfit for the day? Are you the person that does their makeup for them? Are you the person that helps with the financial stuff to do with the group? Like, what are you in your friendship group? Who are you to your family? What are the things that people always come to you for? And what are the things that you always speak to other people about? And when you do this, write down a list of what these might be. It might seem really sporadic: academia, education, makeup, fashion. Like, I know it's all very different, but just write them down and we'll decide on which one you want to go for in a second. The second step is to do some market research. Now, market research means going onto the market, aka social media, going onto social media platforms and looking at what people are doing in that specific niche. Okay, so let's be really specific. Let's say AI in academia, which is what I speak about. I will go on social media and I'll try to find people that are talking about this online. And I'll look at what the appetite is like. Are these people, do they have lots of followers? Do they get lots of views? Like, what is it about these people that is attractive? Is it because they are giving value? Is it because they're giving information? Like, what is it? How is their content actually made? What kind of content does well? Can you see yourself making similar content? Because clearly that kind of content works in that particular niche. So you might have to do something similar to gain attraction initially, but don't forget, you have to be unique. You have to be yourself. So maybe they're not doing something that you think that you could do. So that could be your USP. You might be thinking, why are they not showing modest fashion? You know what? I'll do that. And that could be your USP, right? So this can all help you build your USP. And this is kind of the next step. You can even go as far as using something like Google Trends. So Google Trends is a website where you can look at the trends of what people online are kind of questioning. So the search online, looking at keywords, what are people looking for? You can look across certain regions of the world. You can look across certain parts of For example, the UK, what are people in London speaking about more? You can look over time, what has been spoken about most in the last 6 months or 1 year, and maybe that can help you build a bit of a good picture of sort of the worldwide demand as well. But I would say just looking on social media actually is enough. And then step 3 is to analyze the competition. What are these people doing? How are they doing it? Could you do something better? Looking for, like I said, the unique gaps in the market and a new perspective, and that is your niche. And now you've got your target audience, so you want to find out what their pain points are. By pain point, I mean, what is something that they want solved? What is a problem that they have? And one cheeky way of doing this is if, for example, you've identified a competitor, so someone who's talking about AI in academia, you go to their comments, look at their comments, and look at what people are asking them. That is what they still don't understand. If you're seeing lots of questions and they're asking about the same thing, they're saying, oh, but you're not helping me with writing a literature review, or can you help me with referencing? Maybe that can be something that you focus on, and you're just focusing on writing essays and the different kind of essays, and that can be your niche. And I know it seems really narrow, but there's so much that you can do around that content. And then later on you have something that you're selling, like an online course or an online resource, and you're funneling down to that one thing. You can honestly make millions from it. Now let's move on to defining your personal brand. So we found our niche, we know what it is, bearing in mind that this can change over time. You don't have to be fixated onto this one niche, but having somewhere to start is a good idea. So we want to move on to personal branding. We want to define your personal brand. So this is how you present yourself to the world. How are you going to be presenting yourself and along with your content? So you don't have to show your face, by the way. Your personal brand doesn't have to include your actual face, but it's more about the overall look. So some people go as far as having a certain color scheme for their feed. Some people go as far as having certain fonts that they will only use, certain songs that they will only use. Some people like to have a consistent voice. So my family always say this, and it's very annoying, and I can actually hear myself doing it now, but they say that I have like a camera voice, and I kind of go into this very clear way of speaking, and that's my online kind of persona, I guess. That's what makes me my brand, being able to speak clearly, being able to articulate appropriately, and that's something that people do differently. So for example, if you look at someone like Nara Smith, her branding is having this soft voice that's really slow, and people have actually copied that, and there are other accounts that have started to speak like her, and I know hers is very specific and very kind of tailored to her content. But can you see what I mean about having your own personal brand? What is it that makes you unique when it comes to your voice, when it comes to your tone, when it comes to your visuals? There should be something that shows that as soon as someone clicks or swipes on Instagram or TikTok, they come across your content and they just know it's you. They just know that it's you based off of your branding. Like, for example, I'm not jokey online. I'm not like a funny person. I think I'm a bit funny, but I don't think that I'm funny. So that's not something that comes natural to me. And I think if I were to be like that, you'd probably think I was forcing it and I was doing it on purpose, and it would just be so cringe. So make sure that your personal brand is also natural to you. Is that a lifestyle? Is that a way that you are? Because after a couple of months of faking it, you'll find it a little bit hard, I think, to continue on if it's not authentic to you, and your audience will pick up on it really quickly. So there are some really good examples of people that have done this online. So for example, I'm looking at Grace Beverly. She is a founder now of a couple of companies. So someone who has done the whole creator to entrepreneur pipeline. But looking at her page, you can really understand what her niche is. You can see that she's talking about business. You can see she's talking about her daily schedule, outfits, a bit of travel, and that's basically what she speaks about. And when you look at her feed, it's quite cohesive. There are a combination of carousels, some pictures, a few notes, a few of her podcast episodes, and it just makes sense. Another person that I thought I'd highlight is Medina from Grillo Designs. Again, her niche is home decor, about being someone who rents a home and how you can make that rental home into something that you feel comfortable with and adding your own personal touch. And when you look at her feed, again, it's really cohesive. There are similar colors throughout, there are similar kind of style of images, there are carousels, there are reels, and then there's like a very nice small title on the cover of each of her posts, and it just is nice to look at. Now, these are things that you can think about a little bit later on your journey, but do consider them when you're starting off, as that could be something that sticks with you as you go on. Now, you can actually use AI to help you find your niche. You can actually go to ChatGPT and input a prompt saying something like, I am interested in this, and this topic, and this is what I want to start making content about online. What could my niche be? What could I speak about online? And you can get a number of responses that could be really helpful for you when it comes to thinking about and kind of brainstorming your ideas. But I wanted to leave you with this thought that it is okay if you haven't been able to really define what your niche is right now. As long as you have a slight idea what it is that you want to speak about, as long as you know, like, okay, I know that I want to speak about education in some way, let me just start posting. My biggest tip is that you will learn as you go along. Your journey is part of your experience. It's essentially your work experience. So being able to start, being able to pick up content creation and like making nice content and kind of getting aesthetic reels and things like that, that will take you along the journey where you realize, actually, this is going to be my niche. This is what I really enjoy making content about. So if you still are a bit stuck, then maybe just think about 3 content pillars and stick to those content pillars, and then you can niche down at a later point. I really hope that this first video was helpful. You were able to find your niche, think about what it is that interests you, what it is that you could make content about, and a little bit about personal branding and identifying other creators that inspire you and you could be inspired by along your journey. In the next video, we're going to be speaking about how to choose a social media platform, should you be on all of them, and how to actually grow your presence. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and why not share your social media handles down below if you think that you would like others to take a look and follow you. Let me know what it is that you are hoping to launch or start on your online business, and share your handles so I can take a look too. If you want to contact me, I can help you with strategy and with actually kind of starting and launching your online company and your online brand. Then I'll leave my links for it down below, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.